My fear is that when people are negative or have maybe a bit more negative view on what they have to do to be able to be visible in the community, it may turn other people off to just putting themselves out there. Anybody can make video content. You don't have to be entertaining. You don't have to make thumbnails. And you could just post your books on Insta. You can just take a video camera out. You can just go live and just start grading your books. The thing is, like, you don't need to do it with an audience of 210 people. Screw that. Like, it's just about participating in the community. That's like one of the best parts of comics is you can befriend people who also have a love for this medium, and they can become some of your best friends because, like, that's what the relationship is about. And it doesn't matter what religion they are, what politics they like, how they lean. I have all kinds of friends that outside of comics I may never would have connected with. And I think there's a lot of people who can share that same sentiments. I don't want to make it seem like if you can't make a video, you can't edit a video, then you shouldn't do it. And ridiculing people for doing that. Like, just participate, post, talk about comics. This medium will die if we do not post about comic books. That's how that goes. We got to post it. The publishers aren't doing it. The LCS owners are way too busy, and there's less comics coming out every single month. So let's just all help with the marketing of this by talking and participating in the community now that we have social media and we can all connect.
Best clip you've ever clipped. Ever.
I saw that.
And the best thing that Tom has ever said, even greater than his full, spruce smooth shutdown. Excellent.
I'll tell you the genesis of that clip. I just woke up thinking about how drama seems to be so prevalent. And I've been thinking about my own role as a shit stirrer, as they say in this drama. One of the things that, we came to is that, and Tom says it in that clip, right? We come on here to talk about our comics because we're excited about our comic books, and we're excited that there are other human beings that are excited about comic books too, because that's not easy to find in this day and age. It starts off as this connection over comic books, but naturally it starts to become not just about the comic books, but about the relationships that we've built doing this comic book thing. When that happens, inevitably, drama's going to happen anytime human beings come together like that. And so while we're all saying no drama, it doesn't seem that ever matters, right? The drama continues to happen because it's a natural evolution of this thing evolving from, hey, we love comics, to, hey, you're pretty cool, we hang out a lot, to, hey, we disagreed on this thing, now we have a riff. That's just this human experience. Understanding that those things are inevitable, that there's going to be people you like more than others. You're going to fall out with people. Understanding all that's going to happen, and just being grown human beings that we are, why does it have to be angry? Why can't we just take it for the not serious thing that it is, which is comic book YouTube?
This comic book thing is a thing that brings us all together, but it's human nature to associate what makes somebody different from you. It's something that we just do as an animal. When you then find that thing, it then erases everything that was your common ground, and that's just sad, That's just sad shit. I've had riffs with people in this community, and I really don't fuck with them anymore. If somebody asks me what happened, I'll be honest about the comings and the goings, but I don't search them out to start shit, because I don't have time for that in my life. I barely have time for the people I love in my life. I don't have any time for the people I hate. I got no time for that. So I let go of that shit. So it's as a grown-up, you just can't be angry at shit all the time. It's just not productive. In this internet world, people get kind of on that level where they think there's some sort of loyalty or closeness that should be there. Sometimes it's just is imaginary in a lot of ways. So people will take things personally that just aren't personal, and people will just put things on a level that let's be honest, a lot of us in this community, a lot of comic book readers, a lot of fandom subscribers are people who are socially awkward, right? And then you add that all in at different levels, right? And then you find a social circle as somebody who's socially awkward. You might add a lot of importance to that personally in your own life, where your online friends might not have that same kind of connection to you. So it's yeah, I have a lot of personal friends that I have made in this community. I've had a lot of community acquaintances that I really enjoy being on streams with. I have a lot of people who I would say would be my expanding friend circle that I've met through the Jigs Kingdom Discord, where we talk on more than a loose basis. We're always communicating with each other and having a good time. Now I'm playing games with you fuckers, and the only thing I gotta worry about drama wise is watching out for that orbital barrage, because I know I'm fucking dead, and
Perry.
it's just gonna flash on my screen. Perry killed you, and I'll be like, thanks, Perry, and he'll be like, was that me?
What did I do that?
What do you mean? But like, there's different levels to it. So it's like, if these online friendships, like social media friendships, they're not always real friendships, and I think a lot of people don't really have the ability to put the proper weight behind them that they deserve in social context.
I'm the first one to be too guilty, like if I'm investing energy in you, then you better believe that this shit is real.
I don't understand how people who have no idea what they're doing, right? They have no shtick. And then all they have for shtick is pissing people off and having them on their show. And I'm trying not to name names because I'm trying to be good here.
Trying not to be in the crosshairs.
Yeah, because then I got to be in the shtick, and I don't want to be in the shtick. But I'll tell the person
to worry about it.
F themselves. You know what I'm saying?
No, don't be in the shtick.
No, I don't want to be in the shtick. But I don't like how what's going on where nobody has no shtick other than people pissing people off and getting them to say something, and then they become the innocent ones. Like, well, what do you mean? And then all of a sudden they're being prosecuted. They're being not prosecuted. Is it prosecuted?
Persecuted?
But anyways. Yeah,
no, or that they
by that person, and that's their shit to make and then like not too long ago, they had two people going at it, and that person's like, hey, look at me, I'm making points here, and I'm gonna get views, and because these two people who had stuff outside of the shtick brought it into the shtick, I can't stand that. I can't stand the shtick. I can't stand not having a person not having a shtick and like being a leech to everybody else in the community. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Without using names?
Made perfect sense.
Kind of. Almost.
Well, all right. We'll talk later. Okay. But anyways, I was like, it's like, if you don't have a shtick, say you don't have a shtick and just do what you want to do, but not sop off, not leech off everybody else in the community just so you can feel like you have something. You know what I'm saying?
I think what Tony's saying is they talk shit because they ain't got shit.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Why didn't you write that for me so I could say that?
I'm a translator, bro.
Tom said it best. He said, you don't have to know how to edit. You don't have to have the best camera. You don't have to be any of those things. You want to get online and talk comics, then talk comics. And, and I know some people who have said, if you can't handle it, you shouldn't be online. If you can't handle any criticism, if you can't handle this, you can handle it, you shouldn't be here. And I'm like, but why shouldn't they be here? Why shouldn't we have a safe environment for them to be like, hey,
safe space.
Yeah, and
I don't know if it's so much that we shouldn't have a safe space. It's that people at this point in the lifespan of the internet should understand that it's not a safe space. I think that
it's not.
It comes to something I've tried to impart upon my daughter for years now. It's just as important when you're not offending somebody to not take offense. Having a thick skin and remaining calm and coming to a place of understanding is really the only way to defeat ignorance that comes at you in a loud and aggressive manner, right? You're not going to beat it by shouting it down. You're only going to beat it by being like, okay, what is really your issue here, man? Like, let's get to the bottom of it. Regardless of what it is, to shout into the void at somebody else shouting into the void is not ever going to be a constructive way of communicating or finding common ground or reaching a resolution to a problem. But I do think that we can foster a better community by not feeding the trolls and by not leaning into a lot of this stuff. I mean, I do think a lot of people being assholes on the internet tends to make me laugh. It makes me part of the problem, I guess. But
I am so part of the problem.
Yeah,
you're the problem.
I'm a part of a lot of problems. So you're gonna have to start at the bottom of the list and work your way up. We're not gonna fix any of that today. But I just think that a lot of the times we can do better as a community, not like completely being outraged by everything every idiot says.
There's been a lot of talk, and I've talked about it on this show before, and it's certainly true that if you're going to put yourself out there, you can't be out here caring what everybody says and thinks, and that's an absolute fact. But I think we oftentimes forget the other side of that, which is that doesn't mean you can say whatever you want without consequences, right? You have free speech, but you don't have freedom from consequences for whatever you say.
And also, like, are we just not allowed to be human? Are we just not allowed to be human? Are we just like we're just expected to have this impenetrable skin all the time? Like,
you can't be human. You have to be either a bug or an automaton. That's what I've been
right.
talking.
It's like that's just not. It's not realistic. It's not. You know.
I think it is realistic, and the reason why it is realistic is because you don't have to care. And I'll give an example. Journo's Comics, who is the homie. I love Journo's, and we've talked multiple times. And one of the things that I've talked about with him many, many times is that you can't be out here caring what everybody thinks. If you're watching his Instagram, he's got this angry straight white male guy who's got under his skin because he said some out of pocket shit, right? But Journo's reaction is exactly what that dude wants. And you're just giving, like, as a troll myself, I need you to care what I'm doing, right? If you don't care, I am losing at what I'm trying to do with you. Right. And there's no reason to care what some random person posted in your DM. There is no reason whatsoever. So I think it's not unreasonable to say to people, hey, we're on the internet. People are going to be terrible about things. And it's just going to be best for your mental health to learn to not care. But that, again, does not mean that means you can do whatever you want, say whatever you want without people coming back at you, which I've gotten in trouble for that. And this is something that I wanted to say tonight, is that I get in trouble because I'm part of the drama. I had a friend, I thought a good friend of mine, like I was upset about this. I had a good friend of mine who I saw was not following me on Instagram randomly. And I was messaging them and I was like, what, why are we not, did I miss something? And they told me they unfollowed me because of the drama. And I said, damn. Because there's been multiple times where I was a part of the drama because I was defending this person and it was to their benefit. But now that I'm part of the drama defending something else, and then now I'm part of the problem now. And that's part of, like, you know, I've got to learn to not care what people say too, but it does irk me when people come at me as I'm part of the problem. When you look at what I've done, I come at people who are closing the gate. I come at people who are coming afters and tearing people down and pushing people out of this space. That's what I come after. Decor is that, and Sticky Goose is that. And that's who I've gone after. And I only went after them because they're going after people the same way. And I just wanted to do to them what they were doing to other people. But because I decided to do that, I'm also the bad guy. And I just think that's bullshit, right? Like, for that person to unfollow me after I have defended him multiple times, I DM someone straight up, leave him alone, or you're going to have a problem with me. And now I'm the bad guy for doing exactly that, but just not for him. So I try not to care, but that bothers the fuck out of me.
You and I moved past that and then we're friends again. I mean, like, it's really...
So I want to get that off my chest because I see a lot of people like, oh, Marcus is part of the problem. But really, I'm just out. Like, a lot of people feel like there shouldn't be any pushback. But if you say some crazy shit, there's going to be consequences, and maybe there should be consequences. And there was a couple of times where I felt like trying to be those consequences. I had an axe to grind, and the worst version of me is the version of me that has an axe to grind. But sometimes I do, and I have a reason for it. Both times that I did it, I had a reason for it. So I feel like if Decor comes on and lies about people and tears people down, that I should be allowed to fucking come right back at them without being the bad guy. But, you know, I got to accept the consequences of being who I
am. If he's doing that, you should be able to give it back to him.
I agree. And I will. And I do.
And that's
what I think a lot of people like and I've said this before, but if you decide to get in the mud and wrestle with the pig, you can't be mad at the people watching who can't tell who the pig is, right? I can't be mad about that. I got to just accept that shit. You know, I want to address Tate here. He said, when the hell did this show become about comics, Marcus? And I need everyone to understand that I control the first 5 minutes or so of this show.
We did not talk about
And
comics.
then I don't control anything after that. The show is about whatever you guys want it to be about. So today, sometimes it's about comics, sometimes it's not, but it's rarely under my control. You've seen me not be able to get a word in a few times tonight, even. So I'm not in control here. This thing is just rolling without me. That's all right. That's all I wanted to say.
Right. Marcus, I only came on for a minute just to speak to your whole first part of your show. I think people need to look forward into 2025 and consider making some internal changes in their life. You know, maybe do like a pledge to say, you know what, if I don't agree with you, I'm just gonna keep that right there, you know, and focus on what I do agree with you on.
Yeah.
Like,
Or it's okay if we don't
and it's okay if you don't agree.
Just to, you know, if I'm gonna give my parting words, it's lame, but you have to be the things that you want to see in this world. So if you want good things, you have to be a good person, and you have to, you know, try to be humane and meet people at their level. Everybody wants to be treated with kindness and warmth. And so if we can try and give that to other people, we're more likely to get that in return. All right, I'm done.
All right. Amen, sister. Thank you so much for jumping on, Caroline.
I mean, I will still
appreciate
flip
you.
a car and light it on fire, but that is beautiful.